You're the Nexus or against us. These guys were 7 rookies that debuted in WWE. This all started when ECW got canceled and they brought in a new show, NXT. NXT started off as a game show and would eliminate one and one in order to be the number one superstar, and for that year was Wade Barrett. After he won, his mentor being Chris Jericho, would then not be seen until a while after something happened. It would be John Cena versus CM Punk. CM Punk would be losing against John Cena. John Cena dominating that match. John Cena about to defeat CM Punk, but then Wade Barrett shows up randomly. This guy would show up and then start coming in toward the ring, and John Cena would continue on the match, but then more NXT stars would show up. Stars like Ryback, Daniel Bryan, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Michael Tarver, Darren Young, David Otunga. These guys were going to be the future of WWE, so they showed up and attacked CM Punk. They destroyed John Cena, doing every type of finisher you know towards him. After that, they destroyed the ring announcers, the ring, the commentary. They even choked up the announcer. Daniel Bryan did, and they left. WWE Universe was in shock. They left. No one knew what was going on. This was the big debut for the Nexus. These guys would be destroying each and every WWE Raw and SmackDown superstar. They would be minding their own business and get destroyed. This was a top faction during that time. Something had to be done. They are called the Nexus. And Daniel Bryan got kicked out after choking that announcer. So it would be John Cena team versus the Nexus team. John Cena's team consists of John Cena, Edge, Chris Jericho, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Great Khali, John Morrison, and R-Truth. These guys would go head to head on SummerSlam. Obviously, the Nexus would end up destroying the Great Khali before the match, so they replaced him with Daniel Bryan. And this, if not, what could have been one of the biggest mistakes that happened. In the end, it was John Cena and Wade Barrett and Justin Gabriel. They ended up losing. He ended up taking care of both of them. He was by himself. It was a disappointment because whether you like it or not, no one knows for sure. Nexus could have been one of the top superstars and top factions. At the end, it went a bit downhill from there. Wade Barrett would get him put into the WWE title picture, but it wasn't the same. He would never win the main one, which would suck for him, but he would never be able to grab that WWE title. He was a great leader, great ring worker, ended up working out. Interviews later, John Cena would even say it was a mistake. Edge, from sources, would say, we thought that the Nexus were going to be over, but they weren't. Imagine if it was, how big the possibility could have been endless. Time went on. John Cena ended up having to join the Nexus, but he would end up destroying them one by one. The Nexus would end up being smaller and smaller, and in the end, there were only a few members left, which then what happened was they would kick out Wade Barrett for their new leader, CM Punk. This would probably try to build up the Nexus again, but it still wasn't the same. Wade Barrett would then build up the core, which would lead him, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, and Ezekiel Jackson. CM Punk would have the new Nexus, but in the end, it wasn't the same. CM Punk couldn't bring over that faction. Slowly died down from there. Soon they all went their separate ways. So the biggest question is, what would have happened if John Cena would have lost in SummerSlam? And what if the Nexus would have won during that time? Would they be on top? Or was Nexus doomed